Oh, is that the new tournament happening?
No, this was the destruction
Oh,
event
oh,
from
okay.
yesterday.
All right, we are live. Hello, everybody. You know me. Okay, no, you don't, but you know who I am. I'm Issa J, your Smart Wrestling Alliance heavyweight champion, and sitting next beside me is
Liam Landry.
all right, and it's time for shooting with the Smarky family. We have been away for 2 weeks because of scheduling conflicts. We had Labor Day weekend 2 weeks ago, last week, work conflicts, but today we are back and in action. It's a very big shooting with the Smarky family because we have Hell in a Cell later tonight. So
Yes.
should be we'll talk about that as well. But started off, how was your 2 weeks off of the channel?
Well, there were 2 weeks off because I worked a lot of overtime. So I went with what was about um, 13 days of working straight. So very rough. That's why I've also have not done NXT videos because
Yeah.
I just have trouble because I've even worked at least one extra hour overtime each day too. So it's been very rough time with that. But you know, as it's now passed, I didn't have to work this weekend. Hence why we're doing this. And I also, got other stuff. Caught up on some other wrestling that we'll get into. I got my Spider-Man game.
Nice.
So I've been playing that. Yes. And yeah, I mean, it's getting better. I haven't started watching BoJack Horseman because that just came up on Friday. And I just felt like I was kind of too tired to be depressed. I didn't think it would add well, so I'll probably start this week though.
Saw a little clip. I don't know which season it was from, but BoJack is in a bar, and this person recognizes him, and is like, "Oh my gosh, I think it's BoJack Horseman." Yeah, he looks fatter and more depressed now, but it's definitely him. It was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so sad."
Yeah.
And I understood why you thought of BoJack Horseman when you were watching Arrested Development with me and Courtney that one time.
Uh-huh.
It was because the voice actor for BoJack Horseman is Will Arnett, and yeah.
I thought you knew that when I was saying that.
Nope, I found that out a couple weeks back, and I was like, "Oh, drat, that makes sense now."
Yeah.
But yeah, my week has been super busy. The transition of the new job and having 2 jobs really has taken its toll, and I've just been so tired that I haven't been able to get everything uploaded and stuff, which is so annoying and frustrating. But one of those jobs will not be had in 2 weeks' time, so I'll be able to focus more on my days off to really fix some videos. And also later today we're going to do our final picks for the Fantasy Promotion Championships with Liam and Issa. It's Smart Style Evolved finally, which is why we didn't do it yesterday. I don't think there was any big wrestling events last night, were there?
I think so.
Yeah, but we'll have the week, Hell in a Cell, all that, and it should be good. Should be fun. The first inaugural Intercontinental Champion will be announced next week, and next week is all about redrafting and everything before the picks start again. So really excited. So let's get right into the show now.
Yeah.
All those updates and our lives have been aired. What news do you have, good sir?
Well, when we go with news outside WWE, I'll talk about some of the wrestling that I caught up on, and that's in the one on the Destruction tour for New Japan Pro Wrestling, they had their Destruction in. This is one of the actual interesting things of how it's actually mispronounced a lot in America. Because we normally pronounce it Hiroshima, but they were calling it Hiroshima.
Hiroshima.
So Destruction in Hiroshima. So that's kind of interesting how regularly that pronunciation is used. But Destruction in Hiroshima. This one stop of the tour. They're going to go to multiple other ones going on, but this was a real big one since we had the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship online. So the first match was a 6-man tag match where we had Rapani 3K, the full set, Sho, Yo, and Rocky Romero. We talked one other time, and I saw it in there. Yo, his nickname is High and Mighty Yo.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and they were facing off against a team of Kushida, Tiger Mask, and Jushin Thunder Liger. I thought this was, it was a real great opener, very fast paced, and quick and everything. And the crowd was really into it the whole night. A lot of times the Japan crowd is like slow to kind of start up because that's kind of normal tradition for them. But they were very into this match, especially definitely when Liger came out. They were really hyped for it, and it was a great opener to get you ready for the rest of the match. Everyone looked good in it. I believe it was Tiger Mask getting the pin on Rocky for the win. I thought that was it was a little odd in the way it did because he first hit like the Tiger Driver, but then that got broken up, only to go into a Tiger Suplex that got the pin immediately afterwards. So I don't know why they necessarily did it that way, but it was still a really good match overall, and I liked how at the end where they put up the names of the winner, it's Liger, Tiger, Kushida. Oh my. But that was it was interesting. Then we go into Toa Hanara versus Bad Luck Fale. And Toa is I believe he's the other brother of the Tangaloa and Tamatanga. I'm of course saying that because they're the only Pacific Islanders in the group, so that figuring it as so. But yeah, this was actually a pretty good matchup. Fale is a big guy, so it's that kind of big guy matchup. He was a little slower and stuff, but they worked pretty well off each other. They actually said that Toa went to Fale's wrestling school, so he was actually taught by Fale.
That's cool.
So I thought this was pretty okay matchup for what it was, and he kind of told a story of Toa trying to do different things, change up how he wrestles Fale to try to get the win, but he didn't end up getting the win. Fale, still looking strong, getting the win there. Then we had a tag team match with the Killer Elite Squad of Suzuki-gun. I guess it shows also said earlier, Battle Like Fale, of course, Bullet Club, the OG Bullet Club. But we had Killer Elite Squad of Suzuki-gun, which is Lance Archer and Davey Boy Smith Jr., who was, son of the British Bulldog and everything, versus Ayoto Yoshida, who's a young lion, and who's teaming with Michael Elgin. And this was, it wasn't a bad matchup. It was a normal matchup with this type where, the team with the young lion's going to lose, and it's going to be the young lion taking the pin, but everything in it was still pretty good and fun. And when they had time, when they were kind of building the hot tag, I like what they do in New Japan, where they kind of they vary the attacks. They're not just like stomping someone in the corner. It's a little more varied. So there was some real good parts in there, and it was a good way to try to get Killer Elite Squad back into the picture. You give them a win to boost them up. There's actually upcoming. There's going to be a New Japan tournament for tag teams I'm sure
okay.
you would like that because
Oh yes.
tag team. So it was kind of promote that and promote them kind of going back into because they haven't been on for quite a while now in in an actual just two-man tag match. They've been in multi-group matches, but
Yeah.
so it was just another one to get there in. So I think it did well with that. After that, we had a six-man tag matches, and I will say these you know uh, these tours they use a lot of multi-man matches. A lot of that is for future storytelling, like in the last one promoting the tag team tournament, and this one also promotes that tag team tournament as well. He had Will Ospreay with Chucky T and Beretta, who are from ROH. They're actually the best friends. That's what their tag team is called. Um, and and they were, and I believe, I think they were kind of implying that they're kind of members of American Chaos, maybe from the team up.
Okay. Yeah.
But they were facing off against the Bullet Club with Kota Ibushi, Yojiro Takahashi, and Chase Owens. And this was a really good matchup in there, especially when you got the parts with Will Ospreay and Ibushi in there, because as the announcer was saying, everyone wants to see this matchup, and it's had some real cool stuff. They had some funny bits with Will Ospreay. He wanted to be with the best friends because the best friends like hug each other, and he's going in for a hug, but they kind of sidestep him. So it was kind of funny bits with them. And they also had some funny stuff with Bullet Club because Yujiro and Chase are trying to get Ibushi to do more dirty tactics, like grouping up on a guy and stomping him. But Ibushi doesn't really want to go, so there's some fun stuff with that, and it was a pretty good six-man tag match.
Yeah.
So some cool stuff. And after this, we have our first championship match of the night, which was for the never open weight six-man tag team championship, with the current champions representing Bullet Club, Taiji Ishimori, Tonga Loa, and Tama Tonga versus Ryusuke Taguchi, David Finlay, and Juice Robinson. And this was a very entertaining match. Ryusuke, he's a very comedic wrestler and brought funny stuff in. They were kind of talking about how they're going to have next year. They have the World Rugby Cup, So I guess that was kind of what they were themed around. I know during the World Cup, he came down with the soccer ball, but this time they came out with rugby shirts and he had a rugby helmet, and that actually came into the match because there was points where he was headbutting people with it, Loa and Tonga do this thing where they both jump up and headbutt a guy, but they did it and they just fell over because of that, and Taiji goes and does a jumping kick, but he's my leg. Before they eventually rip it off, and Bullet Club does end up winning here. But it was a very fun match. It's always done with Ryusuke. He does really well with that, and Juice and David are also really good with that. So it was a real fun match, entertaining. And the next, once again, like you said, a lot of multi-man matches. Another six-man match with Chaos, with Yato, Toru Yano, and Hiroki Goto versus Suzuki Gun and Taichi Izuka, and Yoshinobu. And this was a good matchup. This was trying to tell the story of between Goto and Taichi, because they have a match tomorrow night against each other for the never open weight championship. They of course had their pass with that triple threat at Dominion and everything, so there was a lot leaning into that, and you had some real good parts in here, so I thought it was all pretty entertaining overall, but that was the kind of key factor there. and it was about to go with Goto getting the pinfall victory on Yoshinobu, I believe it was, but it ended up ending in disqualification because Taichi came in and attacked the ref and attacked Goto before it happened. So, still kind of building more towards that, and the dastardly Taichi and everything. Because that's, I'm sure, how they're gonna play it. He's gonna try to cheat to win because he can't beat Goto cleanly. Yeah. So is that, and Iizuka, he has a gimmick where he's basically a madman, and I guess maybe part cannibal or something, because he has the thing where he bites people, and that's kind of his gimmick. He came out with the muzzle initially, but then Taichi ripped the muzzle off, and he kind of went around biting people. He's fun in these settings because he's kind of used sparingly. He's an older guy, so he can't really move around too much, and you can definitely tell. But when he goes out there and starts terrifying people, attempting to bite everyone, including the ref, it's fun stuff. So overall, it was very good, very entertaining, like a lot of the other ones. But it did get me more interested in the Goto Taichi match, so that's good. Then we had a 8-man tag match with LIJ, basically everyone but Takahashi, of course. So we had Bushi, Sanada, Evil, and Naito versus Suzuki-gun, El Desperado, Taka Michinoku, Zack Sabre Jr., and Minoru Suzuki. And this is setting up also for tomorrow, the match between Minoru Suzuki and Naito. So it's really great that he was showing how Suzuki is really upset with himself. He wants to be able to defeat Naito. He's really just focused on that. And during the match, he focuses on attacking Naito. He doesn't even pay attention to what's happening in the ring.
Oh, wow.
Naito's just trying to be nonchalant because that's what Naito does. And there's this point has been a chokehold, holding onto the ropes, and Naito is hanging down and everything, and they're just keep coming back to that. Eventually, I believe it was Evil or Sonata picks up the victory after they hit the Magic Killer. They pick up the victory, but afterwards, Suzuki goes and still just locks in that chokehold and everything on Naito, and they're trying to get him off. Eventually got him off, but then he goes back with another kind of arm breaker chokehold maneuver as well. And then Bushi is trying to kick Suzuki, and he switches over to put Bushi in the leg lock immediately too. And eventually try to bring out a stretcher, but Naito's like, no, I don't want to go on a stretcher. They do some actual good cuts to the crowd, where they actually cut to some women very upset about it because they're big Naito fans. And I will also say this actually is a big city for Naito, because he's a big fan of their baseball team, and he actually came out with special shirt that involved the cops, apparently.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's also an interesting thing. They have a logo that's a C. That's basically the same C from Cincinnati Reds. It's interesting. But anyways, it was a very, like I said, it told that story really, really well, while also having some good wrestling in there. But it's a really good part being played by Suzuki there, with his storytelling and just his acting there. Then we go into our final 6-man match of the night with Chaos, with Jay White, Yoshihashi, and Okada versus Tomoaki Hamoa, who this was one of the biggest events he's been since coming back. He was out with a neck injury for a long time, so he made a big recovery. Then he was also with Tobi Makabe and Tanahashi. So this was a pretty good match overall. It was probably less wrestling than a lot of the other matches of the night, only because they were trying to tell the story between Jay White and Okada and their feud together about fighting for the #1 spot. They had Tanahashi and Okada in first because they both wanted to go in there, and Jay White just tags himself in, and he refuses to tag Okada in at times, and he's going and he's beating up Tanahashi on the outside, just ramming him around the ring and the barricades and everything. And Okada's just looking at him and is like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" He's like, really showing that split.
He's Jay White still loving those barricade spots.
Yeah, and Jay White's going, it's like, "You don't get to tell me what to do. I beat you," and things like that to Okada. And it's like, and there's a point at the end where he gets a steel chair. He's trying to hand it to Yoshihashi in the ring, try to get him to use it, but Okada knocks it away, and it goes into a segment where Yoshihashi is holding, I think, Tanahashi it was, and Okada goes for the big boot, but of course, anytime someone's doing a whole running to someone being held, it's always the dodge, and he ends up taking out Yoshihashi, who eventually gets taken out by Tanahashi and gets pinned. So afterwards, he goes up to Yoshi, but he's so upset, and he's like, "Now just get away from me, get away from him." And he goes off, they have, the ramp entrance, that's for whoever wins the match goes out on.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever loses goes off a side entrance. He didn't go through either one. Yoshihashi just ran off to the other side of the arena.
Oh, wow.
It's just showing how upset he is and how this division's happening, and the announcers were saying, the commentators were saying it really well. You can just see Jay White going back and saying, "Oh, if you just took the steel chair like I had, we would have ended up winning and all." So really good playing up to that. Like I said, it wasn't the most compelling wrestling wise, but it had really good storytelling with that point and the breakdown of it.
Seems like there is chaos happening in chaos.
Yes, and I don't know how long they've been doing it, but they actually have a briefcase for the contract for Wrestle Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Then we get to our final match of the night for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. The champion Kenny Omega of Bullet Club versus the challenger from Chaos, Tomohiro Ishii. And this was a great match. They had a really great pro package for it beforehand. I say great. I couldn't understand most of it, but and they didn't have English subtitles, sadly. But it was still nice. You got the point across from what you had, and I always like the video packages they do, even though I can't understand it. But it was a really great matchup. It went just over 30 minutes. I didn't have the exact time, but it was quite a long matchup there. But it was really great stuff when they had when they were going. I'd definitely tell people to go check that out. The real great thing is what they can do in New Japan is they can make it not feel long, but also make you feel like, oh, that was the only amount of time. They had, and it's they made the announcement for the 20-minute mark, and it's oh, we're already at 20 minutes, and it's it doesn't feel like that. And then they had this...
Yeah, get you invested in what's going on in the story they're telling, and then that's the best kind of wrestling right there.
Yeah, and they had this a long sequence right afterwards, and then they're the 25-minute mark, and it's oh, they did all that in 5 minutes? So it's the same fact that it doesn't feel long, but they feel like they put so much into it that you're surprised that it's only been 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because, they did two whole things where they were fighting on the top rope during that period.
Whoa.
And they had one of the best sequences in there. Earlier in the match, Ishii's finisher is the Brainbuster, but Omega hit Ishii with the Brainbuster. Then it was it's kind of saying he was kind of out for a bit, but as he was coming back, he was actually playing the face here. Omega was definitely the heel. He actually went for an eye rake earlier, and there was a point where he put Ishii on the English announce table, and he jumped from the top rope of the ring in onto him,
Wow.
And it did not break.
Oh man.
It was like a stomp, and he kind of like hit him, and he slid off. Omega slid off immediately onto the concrete, and then the table tipped over, so Ishii followed shortly.
Oh yeah.
But then we got to a point where he was trying to put him into the One Wing Angel, and to do that he has to kind of flip out the leg. But as it was happening, Ishii flipped around and converted it into a brainbuster.
Oh.
But Omega flipped out of that and then landed on his feet and hit him with the reverse Hurricanrana. So it was like that was the best sequence of the night.
What?
Yeah.
And Ishii can take a reverse Hurricanrana?
Yeah. Not only can take Hurricanranas, he can dish them out. Because another point of it, they were kind of saying that Ishii has to go to do new extremes. One of those points when they were on the top rope fighting each other, Ishii just goes up, jumps, and hits a Super Hurricanrana onto Omega.
What?
Yeah.
How is Ishii able to move like that?
Yeah,
I'm picturing what you just said in my mind, and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's awesome.
That whole sequence there, though, with the One Winged Angel into the Brainbuster was just so smooth and everything. It was so good, and he had a lot of sequence in there. Even Ishii breaking out some V triggers of his own. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they would kind of.
I'm gonna have to go check that match out.
Yeah, you definitely should, and I think everyone should because it was
We're
definitely
watching
a great
it.
match.
How do you feel watching it again in like a few minutes?
No, I can watch it again.
We're gonna watch
problem.
it again because I want to see this one.
Yeah, and like I said, Ishii was the real face. The whole crowd was really behind him, all chanting Ishii and everything.
I wonder where he's from.
I don't know what part he's from.
I'm gonna figure that out.
Yeah, but he was real over with the crowds, so it really did good story wise. So it was really great overall.
Nice.
And I enjoyed all the shows, and I think, like I said, they do a good job getting me hyped for future matches and stuff. So I'll go check out the Goto versus Taichi, and definitely the Suzuki versus Naito match.
Yeah, those seems like it's gonna be really, really good. And then the story they're telling with Chaos seems really interesting.
And even if it ends up playing in that Okada Tanahashi match, because that's on the 23rd, I believe, so it's coming up too. One other thing I want to say. Apparently, I was watching the CMLL event that was on New Japan from this Friday. LIJ is actually international. They have a LIJ branch in Mexico in CMLL.
Yeah, I think LIJ started in Mexico with because I think Naito went to Mexico and started that there, and then came back to New Japan and brought it to them, which is why they have LIJ de Japón on theirs versus just being called LIJ completely. I think that's what I heard. But yeah, it sounds like a really awesome night of wrestling right there.
Yes.
My quick news of wrestling outside of the WWE is that PWG, or Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, had their Battle of Los Angeles tournament continued, and a bunch of matches happened. The only non-tournament match was SEMA, Desmond Xavier and Zachary Wentz defeating Bandito, Flamita, and Ray Cordes. But other than that, you had Trevor Lee defeat Marco Stunt, Jonah Rock defeating Sammy Guevara, Robbie Eagles defeating DJ Z, Jeff Cobb defeating Darby Allin, Shingo Takagi defeating Ilha Dragunov, and Walter defeating Timothy Thatcher. So seems like a lot of big names like Trevor Lee, Walter, Jeff Cobb are in like continually going on. And I've seen what Walter looks like. He looks like he could be a favorite to win the whole thing. We'll see.
It'd be interesting to see him versus Jeff Cobb. Because that'd be two big guys versus each other.
Yeah. Don't both guys, aren't they both able to move really well?
I definitely know Jeff Cobb can move really well.
Yeah. But, yeah, that tournament seems like it's doing pretty good. And, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla has, like, a lot of good stuff going on right now. They're the low-key indie promotion because they only do DVDs and stuff. They don't actually have a streaming service like ROH or New Japan. But I hear a lot of great things about each and every DVD that gets released. So
yeah, it's from Super Dragon.
mm-hmm.
He's from there, and that's also where Excalibur does his commentating. He's one of the main commentators from PWG.
Yeah. So that's the news so far this week. There's probably a little bit more, but that's 2 whole weeks of news, and we just don't feel like going back all that way. So we're moving on to the news inside of the WWE. Right. You can start again.
Okay, we're going to go for a breakdown of the Mae Young Classic as of right now. So we had the 2 parts of the round of 32. And in there, I'll just go as the bracket has. I won't separate what episode it is. Well, we had Satomura versus Killer Kelly. Mako Satomura. Mako ends up winning. We had Mercedes Martinez defeating Ashley Rain. Lacey Lane defeating Vanessa Craven. Yeah, Craven.
Mm-hmm.
Vanessa Craven. And Tanara Conti defeating Jessie Alban. We had Toni Storm defeating Ginny. Hiroya Matsumoto defeating Rachel Evers. Mia Yim defeating Allison Kay. Caitlyn defeating Kavadari Devi. Tegan Knox defeating Zatara. Nicole Matthews defeating Isla Dawn. Rhea Ripley defeating MJ Jenkins. Casey Cantazaro defeating Rihanna Gonzalez. Io Shari defeating Jai Brookside. Would not expect IIA to sound like Jai. Suixis, which is a name I have not seen any person on YouTube pronounce correctly. Defeating Ariel Monroe. And Donna Prezano defeating Priscilla Kelly. And Jai Lee defeating Karen Q.
Seems like a lot of big upsets and stuff, especially with my 2 favorites in Killer Kelly and Isla Dawn. When I saw them wrestle Toni Storm, I really enjoyed what they brought to the table. So It's upsetting that they're both out in the first round.
Well, I don't think anyone would say that the losing to Mato would be an upset. Definitely, it would be upsetting, but
upsetting. Yeah, that's what I meant.
I figured people would say Mato is going to go pretty far.
Mm-hmm.
giving her stature in women's wrestling in Japan. So.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, we're back.
Sorry, guys. The mic got dropped, but we're back.
Lose too much.
I don't think so. But yeah, so TLC is happening on December 16th, and they're already advertising something, a match. The SAP Center in San Jose, California is, and it is The Shield, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, and they are versing Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre. So apparently, this 6-man feud is still going to be going on all the way through October and November, leading into December. So I don't know if that's just to get it hyped and things change, because things can always change on a dime like that.
Yeah, it's like they're having their 16th 6-man tag match.
So it goes to raise the question: if this does stay the way it's going, does that mean Roman Reigns will get screwed out of the title, and they try to play that angle, and they give Braun, Dolph, and Drew all the belts? Or are the Shield gonna win, and then the Shield have all the belts? How are these stories gonna play out? Because I feel like they need something to, I don't know, maybe make us care about it.
Well, that's the story that you wanted to hear, not the story you were told. So.
Well, you know what? Screw you, Road Dogg. But also, one of the weirdest things, though, about it all is that with the Shield, Dolph, Drew, and Braun being your biggest attractions, what's gonna and basically having a stakehold in all the belts, because let's just look at who has been champion in the past couple months: Roman, Seth, Dolph and Drew, Money in the Bank winner Braun, and Dean already being in title pictures immediately, or title matches immediately after he's back from injury. That does not leave a lot for everyone at all. Yeah, the B team had it for a couple months, and then they're swiftly swept under the rug. The Revival was having some pretty good feuds. They get jumped and are swept under the rug. So, yeah, what's going to happen to all the other superstars if they don't actually have something to do? They're going to have to be really creative when it comes to writing for feuds and stuff. But I just don't see that happening.
Think of all the lumberjack matches they're going to have.
Oh, man. Oh, that's where the faces attack the heels and the heels attack the faces.
Yep. Just like the way Vampiro doesn't like.
He's very outspoken on commentary. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Make us actually look good.
Yeah. But, holy crud. So, if that's what's being billed for December, what's going to be going on?
I really thought it was going to be over by Survivor Series. I thought they were going to have a big Survivor Series matchup to go. But maybe they probably just Yeah, but maybe it just ends up being Raw versus SmackDown again.
Oh, I hope not.
I hope not too.
Now that everything's dual branded, let's just not have 3 years in a row SmackDown attacking Raw, ultimately losing in points.
Yes. And then we also have the fact that if we don't have that, how are we gonna have all that old talent in a match? Remember the last one where we had like maybe two or three people that were under 40 or something in the match.
We had Samoa Joe and Finn Balor, and they were in a feud together. They basically screwed each other out of the match. And then Kurt Angle, Triple H, and Braun Strowman. And the other side, it was, for some reason, Shane McMahon with, I was going to say Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, but they were not in that match. They just screwed the other guys out of it.
Yeah, they beat up Shane. Who was like the linchpin there. Like how?
Who were the other guys in that match? John Cena. John Cena was one.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's your four.
All that up and coming talent.
Yeah, John Cena. He's up and coming. He's gonna do big things, and I guess
Hollywood.
Yes. Triple H. He's up and coming. He's gonna do great things when he's finally creative control for the WWE. I don't even know what to say about Kurt Angle right now. He's up and coming with his relationship with Jason Jordan. I guess they just completely scrapped that and forgot about it. And Shane McMahon, he's up and coming because he's gonna find something else to try to kill himself, but ultimately survive.
Yeah, he's up and coming on a ladder. That's what he's up.
I'm surprised he's not going to be at Hell in a Cell. Oh, I hope I didn't just jinx it.
It's like Jeff Hardy who's at the top of the cell. Out of nowhere, Shane McMahon comes and pushes him. And it's like, no, my spot.
He pushes him, he crashes in, he jumps, and he crashes.
He doesn't even push him off the cell. He pushes them back onto the cell.
Oh, so he pulls him back and then jumps off.
Yes, and takes the spot for him. And then Jeff Hardy retires, never being able to jump off of Hell in a Cell.
Oh, poor Jeff. But,
also, what we're going to say after he jumps off the Hell in a Cell.
And then there was 3 other guys represented for SmackDown, but I just do not remember. That's sad.
Yes, and then I remember how they were criticizing Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for staying in character.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. WWE's in a weird spot right now. We'll see what happens. I guess next is our best segment of the week. We used to only have this for WWE, but we're broadening it out.
Yes, yes.
So...
you want me to start again?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, my best segment of the week is, of course, going to be the Kenny Omega versus Ishii matchup.
Mm-hmm.
That was just really good. You know, I already talked about it, so I don't really have to go too much more into it, but...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine is going to be Finn Balor versus Elias. Francesco was able to go to the show Raw live and got to be in the suite. So she was up there being too sweet. Woo woo. Which is pretty cool. And she's basically saying how when Finn Balor came out, she was super excited because if you know anything from Francesca, she loves Finn Balor. And she started texting me a bunch, especially after the win. So that was cool for her to experience that. And I guess the only other thing that the match from start to finish was really good. Elias is just doing so. He's improving so much in the ring. And of course, being able to wrestle with Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and even though underwhelming Bobby Roode, he is learning a lot. Just like when Braun Strowman was wrestling with a lot of the big names to learn a lot, like Kevin Owens and such. So he's growing, and I'm hoping he gets into a title picture soon and actually wins it. I guess you'd have to go to SmackDown since the Raw titles are going to be held up for 6 months, if not a year. Oh, gosh. But yeah, let's see what happens. Basically, that was a really good match, and ends with Finn Balor getting a sneaky little roll up to get the win, which could actually build Finn versus Elias into a proper feud. So I guess we rant now?
Yes.
Yay, we're ranting now. And let's shake it up, I'll go first.
Yeah.
Serious WWE, why the heck are you doing what you're doing on Raw? AOP, Kevin Owens, and a couple of even Jinder Mahal doesn't make sense to be with these guys when Braun Strowman terrorized Jinder and Kevin Owens.
Puppy power.
And then AOP wants the tag titles, but yet they're helping the tag team champions. So are they going to share the titles? Is that how how they think? Is this how AOP thinks this works? It's making these 4 guys look really stupid. And I'm not entirely sure about the other guys on the heel. Apparently Drew Gulak is there now, so that's weird. And does that mean the end for 205 Live coming soon? Because they have not. They've been sneakily peppering in like Leo Rush, Drew Gulak, Drake Maverick, who's supposed to be a general manager, but now managing AOP. It just. It's a double rant. Like, what's going on with 205 Live? Are you actually going to end it? Or are you just going to basically, here's half of the best that are completely 100% established. All the rest of these guys are going to go down to NXT and NXT UK. Is that what you're doing? That's annoying. And then, of course, this the psychology with all of it. Of why are these 205 Live guys doing this, and why are these Raw guys who are in really brutal feuds with these guys doing this? And the psychology doesn't make sense. It's just like, I'd rather go watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, who apparently doesn't have a lot of good psychology, because at least their psychology is better than what we're getting at WWE. So, yeah, that's my rant.
Yeah, you know, they could fix a lot of that if they just give them reasons. Like, even if they kind of go and say, hey, AOP, if you help us with this, we'll give you a shot at the tag team titles. That would have been more than enough justification for AOP to join with them to get that clearing. But I mean, if you, so it's even dumber that they don't even bother trying, really.
Yeah.
But my rant is going to be on, Hell in a Cell. Mostly, what's not going to be Hell in a Cell, because apparently out of it, Samoa Joe and AJ Styles is not going to be a Hell in a Cell match. And I was like, well, that seems dumb. Why wouldn't you put one of the more aggressive and worthy feuds in a Hell in a Cell? Most of the time they have the problem of not having matches be worthy of being a Hell in a Cell match, just having it because it's the gimmick of that month. So you have a feud that seems so fit for Hell in a Cell. I was even thinking of it coming up because I was like thinking weeks ahead, and like, what my picks are going to be. And I was like, well, someone can't just win by disqualification because it's clearly going to be Hell in a Cell. And then it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, that's just really dumb. I don't understand why you wouldn't do that. I mean, it makes sense, the feud with Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns, because you have the whole interference problem. I can understand putting the cage for that.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense with the Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton. I don't think it has enough heat with that. Well, I know it's something that Jeff Hardy always wanted to do, so I understand that. But story-wise, I don't think it gave it enough impact. Not as much as AJ Styles and Samoa Joe has.
Especially the way they ended the last pay-per-view match they had. You just felt like, oh, they're building up to Hell in a Cell. This is going to be awesome. Yes. Wait, Jeff Hardy gets the Hell in a Cell match? Wait, what's going on here?
You mean that one where it ended at the last pay-per-view where Randy Orton just looked at him and didn't bother beating him up?
And he just walked out. That needs to be in a cell. That's too much.
That's so much heat.
That's too much. He was going to attack, but then he didn't. You're going in the cell. What? Or, like, what the heck? I agree with you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to say with that, it's very dumb they had the storybook segment. I didn't see it all together, but the idea would basically be, in kayfabe, did Samoa Joe sit down and draw these pretty pictures of him with with AJ's wife and daughter, and it's like, well, that just seems weird. Hey, you're a weirdo, Samoa Joe.
Well, I mean, he's been acting pretty bloody weird lately, so.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. That's even like dumber. It's like it just doesn't make sense with that.
So I guess it's time to book it ourselves.
Yes, book it ourselves.
Yay! So what should we book? I feel like we should book. So we have the Australian, whatever the crud happening soon.
The Super Show.
Yes, which is just gonna be
Super Showdown.
Australian Super Showdown, right?
Yes.
I think it's actually in the Australian Super House Showdown.
Yes. It's more like book a vacation to Australia.
Just like they booked Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
But yeah, we can write this off on our taxes if we actually go and have a wrestling show. But let's be real, this is just for us to go see Australia. And maybe Billy Kay and Peyton Royce goes to Australia and be like, oh wow, what are we doing with our lives in WWE? Let's go to these guys, buy WWE, and we get to see them actually do stuff that is actually worth their talents.
Yeah. They're probably not even going to be on the show.
No. What? That's so stupid.
I'm just thinking they're probably just not.
Let's just hope.
Because it sounds stupid enough for them to do.
To just keep them, the Australians, out of it.
Yes.
So that means we're not even going to get Buddy Murphy.
I don't know. Probably not. I don't know.
Oh, WWE, what is wrong with you? We already know a lot, but and then we know Evolution's coming. We already booked Evolution as best as we can. We already know that WWE's doing a far worse job of it already.
But they're nothing. That's a pretty bad way to book it, you know.
So there's only two matches announced, right?
And one of them was announced because you accidentally leaked it and had to announce it.
Which was Nikki, or was that Trish?
No, it was the Trish Stratus one.
Trish and yeah.
Trish and Alexa. And then
wait, that post on WWE was an accident?
It wasn't on WWE. It was during the NXT event.
Yeah.
It accidentally popped up on the Titantron for a bit. So they had to go post it on Twitter because they knew everyone else was going to do it. So anyways.
That's why Alexa Bliss basically was completely flabbergasted in that tweet, because that tweet did not seem like she was ready for it.
Yeah, and they actually spoiled it even more so because the picture they showed on the Titantron had Alexa Bliss without the championship. So they spoiled directly that she was losing the championship.
Oh gosh, I already know who I'm picking, but I really bloody hope that Alexa does win it. I know she's not, but I need that. I need that. Because I'm already done with, I've been done with Ronda for a while, but now she's getting a lot worse, and she's a very unsafe worker, because she's doing her MMA moves, and she's doing them. I'll explain that when we do our predictions.
They're always asking. She's always asking, "Are you ready?" Just making
Are you
sure.
ready? Well, bam!
Coach, here you see, she's asking them if they're ready. It's like, why'd you say that, Coach? Damn. Stop vampiring up in here.
Did Coach actually do that?
Yeah, he did that during.
Oh my gosh!
He did that during SummerSlam. He pointed out the fact that Ronda was saying I think he was trying to like cover up of maybe saying like she's going like, "You ready for this?" I think that's what he was trying to make it sound like he was saying, but no, he shouldn't have brought attention to it.
I mean, it was plain as day with the camera right there. It wasn't even hard cam. It was close-up camera right there with, "Are you ready?" There's the move.
I wonder if someone ever like took that and edited in from WrestleMania that shot of John Cena in the crowd when he was reacting to the Spanish Fly. Should be like, I'm impressed by that call out.
That's great. But and TLC is too far away. Let's book SummerSlam. No, let's book Survivor Series.
Let's book SummerSlam.
Oh,
let's fix that SummerSlam.
Yeah, let's fix it.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna book Survivor Series. We're not gonna book an entire card. We're gonna do 4 matches each. Obviously, this is a big 4, so it's gonna be ridiculously long. But we're only gonna do 4 matches each. We're gonna do 2 Survivor Series matches, branded only, 1 male, 1 female, and 2 championship matches. Do you want Raw or do you want SmackDown? If you need, I can flip the phone and we could go screen or no screen.
Let's take SmackDown.
Okay. Alrighty, and I got Raw. You want me to go first?
Yeah, sure. You can
Okay.
go first.
So, and again, this is purely us booking it ourselves. Braun Strowman is coming in as champion, and this is the first match, like the opening match. Braun Strowman versus, not surprisingly enough, Roman Reigns. He already had his rematch and it got ruined. So Dean Ambrose comes in to try to step up. It's Braun Strowman versus Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens. Because by this point, he finally comes to his senses, like, why am I helping this guy? He tried to murder me. So when Dean Ambrose is like, you cheated my brother Roman out of his championship, I'm bringing it back to the Shield. Braun Strowman is going at it, and then here comes Kevin Owens just beating them both down. Because apparently he can do whatever he wants and not have any repercussions. So, boom. Triple threat for the Universal Championship to at least give someone not in the Shield or the Dogs of War the spotlight. So we need that spotlight, and it needs to be Kevin Owens, because he needs to be in a championship match. So we got that as the first match going in. So what is your first match?
My first match is, I'm going with the fact that they're probably going to have Charlotte win at Hell in a Cell, and also still remain the face. So what I'm going to do is Charlotte versus Becky Lynch, and it's going to be the double turn that everyone needed. You know, it it's going to be.
So that's gonna happen at Survivor Series and not Evolution.
Oh, since we're not booking Evolution, yes.
Okay.
Um, so it's basically going to go in with Becky Lynch doing everything she can. Charlotte just not being able to get her. Eventually has to start using cheating tactics. You know, first kind of one of the big first things is like they go out into the crowd and Charlotte leaves Becky outside, tries to come in, just pick up count out victory,
Mm-hmm.
but Becky Lynch comes back in at the last second. That you have some other spots, and it's just like the stuff. Charlotte just kind of ramps up the heelishness slowly, and you just have Becky Lynch conquering the overall, getting over every step, and then by the end of it, you have Charlotte putting Becky Lynch into the figure 8 lock in the middle of the ring. But what I'm not gonna do is have Becky win. Becky's not gonna win here. It's going to end with her not being able to reach the end, but she passes out. She doesn't tap, and calls back to Stone Cold Bret Hart from their WrestleMania match, I believe it was, when it was the big change, and that's when Stone Cold became the face Stone Cold and the big guy in the company. So that's the kind of symbolism for what's going to happen. That's the turn. That's when she becomes the female Stone Cold.
Cool. Sounds good.
Yes.
Alright, my next match is gonna be okay, we're gonna add one more match because we're gonna do all the titles except for the tag teams because apparently WWE doesn't care about them either. So why should we, right? I'm gonna do your Raw Women's Champion somehow upon this point. It is Alexa Bliss with the championship, and she has just been healing it up against, that's right, Ember Moon. This is a feud that I've been wanting to see since Ember Moon got called up, and we had the very iconic, in a multi-man match, Ember Moon hitting the Eclipse, thank you, against Alexa. So I want this feud so bad, and it is a title-worthy feud. I think SummerSlam is not the time for Ember Moon. Ember Moon's time is WrestleMania, so she will not win, but it's not going to be a clean victory. Obviously, Mickie James is going to get involved, and Alicia Fox is get involved, because I actually do like Alicia Fox in this high-profile setting. So all three, it's basically 3-on-1. You don't get any help from Dana Brooke. You don't get any help from Sasha and Bayley. It is just Ember versus all three. She eclipses Mickie James, and Mickie James is to sell like total beast. She eclipses Alicia Fox, and Alicia Fox will probably sell like a beast. And when she's about to do a third eclipse, it could either be a run-in from a fourth person, or just crotching her, Alexa Bliss crotching her, and then hitting a little Alexa Bliss DDT, Twisted Bliss, 1, 2, 3, a numbers game ultimately, and her being tired of hitting 2 eclipses and trying slowly to get to the third. That'd be really, really cool, and that's how I would book the Raw Women's title match.
Okay. Now, Ken, let me go back. I have a good ending for the Charlotte Becky, so I want to touch back on that. Now, go in, like I said, building more heel stuff from Charlotte. They go brawling. The ref gets knocked out, knocked down for a bit. Becky Lynch is like over the ref, trying to get him to wake up, but it's like as Charlotte sees that, she sees the ref's out, she instantly darts out the ring while Becky Lynch is over the ref trying to get him up. picks up the championship, goes back in, wham, wham, hits Becky Lynch right in the leg, and just kind of like keeps, well, not the title, I meant to say steel chair, hits her in the leg with the steel chair, and just keeps repeating that right onto the leg, right on there, then throws it out, puts on the figure 8 lock, and that's to help protect Becky, and that's when the ref comes back in, and he's going, it's like he went tap out, and she tries to fight him, but that's when she passes out. Doesn't.
That would be good.
Yeah. Because it protects Becky Lynch a little more.
Yeah, we need to always protect Becky Lynch.
Yes.
What's your third match?
My third match, or is my second match?
Your second match.
Yes, my second match of the night.
Skip match 2. Oh man. Yeah.
My second match of the night, I'm going to have Rusev versus trying to think who would be good. Who's on SmackDown right now?
We have him in English still.
Makes a lot of sense going with this route. Rusev versus Randy Orton. Randy Orton's going on his fan favorites list.
Mm-hmm.
He's over Jeff Hardy, maybe goes over another person. Now he goes after Rusev. They go, have a big match, but I'm having Rusev come out the victor here. And I have the idea of going right from RKO out of nowhere, blocked. Randy Orton slams to the ground, swing into an accolade. Right in the middle of the ring. Randy Orton can't get to the ropes. He has to tap, and that's Rusev being the ultimate fan favorite.
Yes.
Winning. So.
I would enjoy that.
Yeah.
And then we have Lana and Aiden English come in and congratulate him. And we have like a full Rusev Day celebration.
Yeah.
Yes.
We bring in that that Bulgarian diplomat again. Come, and you just have like a random little kid with the Bulgarian flag also comes in, and it's like, and he puts him on a mic and it's like, this is the greatest Rusev Day ever.
Oh man.
We do that now because he's probably never going to win the big championship. So
I don't even know if he's going to win another championship.
I don't think he's going to win the U.S. title.
Oh, poor Rusev.
Yeah.
Alright,
where's your fifth one?
Odds only. Next match is going to be, it will be, what will it be? Oh no. Okay, I got it. It's going to be the Raw Tag Team Champions, Dolph and Drew, versus Roman and Seth for the championship, with the stipulation loser loses the belt. So that means Seth can lose his IC title if he loses, and whoever gets the pin gets the belt, basically, instead of having both Drew and Dolph winning. And I would have Dolph Ziggler. He gets curb stomped really, really close to his partner. Then Seth picks him up, and then out of nowhere, Drew just blind tags himself in. Ref sees it. Spear to Dolph. He has the pin over him. 1. But no, there's no 1. Because the ref saw the tag. So, and then Seth and Roman are just like, hey, what are you doing? I'm trying to pin him. He's like, no, he's not the legal man. Claymore out of nowhere to Roman. Claymore out of nowhere to Seth. Like a double Claymore. And then Drew picks up Dolph Ziggler, puts him on top of Seth, and then on top of Roman, Drew gets the 1, 2, 3. And then Drew picks up the mic and he's like, now that I am the tag team champions and the IC title, whoever wins the triple threat match tonight, I am coming for them. And I will have all the belts. And then we give all the belts to Drew McIntyre. And of course, Dolph Ziggler is going to be there because he's one half of the tag. But at least all of the belts are on Drew. And that's my next booking. I still want it, dang it. The heart wants what the heart wants,
You're
man.
talking about the triple threat?
Mm-hmm.
What's that one for?
The Universal title?
I thought that was on Dean Ambrose. Oh, Dean Ambrose,
Yeah.
Kevin Owens. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, my next one. I'm going to have the #1 contendership for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a match, a three-way match between the Usos, the Bar, and Santy. Because in this, I'm just going with the New Day retaining going forward. And basically, it's going to be a match where they're overwhelmed, the other two groups, by Santy's numbers, so they have to team up to try to even things out. And right before they go into the pin, a fan jumps the barricades, runs in, distracts the ref, allowing Santy to do like a sneak attack on the person. And by the time that the ref gets around to noticing the match again, that Santy has rolled up either the Usos or the Bar and is gone for the pin, and they win. So they're the new #1 contenders. Then the fan comes in and it's revealed that it's Nikki Cross in like a hoodie and stuff, because it'll probably take that long for her to get back out to the main roster. But Nikki Cross is there, she helps them win. And that sets off the new path that now that they have Nikki Cross, they're more dominant and have more force. Kind of like when
Nikki has been the missing link all this time.
Kind of like when Selena Vega joined up with Almas. It kind of put him in the right path, you know.
Mm-hmm. Apparently Vince loves Andrade Cien Almas.
Yes, I heard about that too. You would have never guessed it.
Nope. But that would be awesome. That'd be an awesome match. Alright, first of the two Survivor Series matches. It is your face team of Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks. I know. Just give me some time. I said Becky Lynch. I meant Bailey. Bailey, Sasha Banks.
I was wondering why you were grabbing SmackDown.
Now I can say, I know, give me some time. Dana Brooke.
You want to say give me some time again?
No. Trat. Who else is a face? Who else is a bloody... Oh, Natalia and Ronda Rousey versus Sarah Logan, Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, Nikki Bella. We'll get to that. And who's another good heel that I can grab who wasn't in the main event, who wasn't in the women's match I picked?
Did you say Nia Jax as a heel? Because we don't know what she's going to be when she comes back.
If she comes back. Important. I mean, yeah, she's probably going to be back for Evolution.
She's recuperating now. They said that she's doing...
Oh, she was injured?
Apparently, yeah. She's doing some physical therapy in the Performance Center now, so...
Okay.
She'll be coming back soon.
Okay. So, who the heck Wait, who else is there? Oh, other than Nia Jax, who else is there? Because it needs to be someone as weak as Nikki. Oh my gosh, this is horrible. This is embarrassing, everybody. I'm so sorry. Raw women's roster.
Look at all those women there. I was joking because they have like everyone, so.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. No, 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 no. That okay? There is none.
That's what you.
There's Sasha, who I put in there. Sarah, Ruby, Rhonda, Nikki, Natalia.
Skipping over that Nia
Liv.
Jax, I see.
Hold on. Dang it. Liv, and Dana and Bailey. Because the other four are so it's Nia Jax. There we go. Interesting. So Nia Jax comes back and she's a heel.
Yes.
Because reasons.
I mean, I was telling her that was her booking beforehand.
True. So Nia Jax, she gets really mad with Natalia and Rhonda. So that's why she turns heel and she's on the heel team. So it's those 10 women against each other. And immediately we have our first elimination because Nikki Bella is going to turn heel on Natalia and Rhonda as well. So Nia and Nikki, they're teaming up against them too. We have Sasha and Bailey, and they're like the super best friends. Or are they? And then Dana Brooke, why is she even there? And then we have the Riot Squad, and immediately once the bell starts, they get off the apron and they just leave, or they just sit around and they're like, whatever, y'all do what you got to do. We don't care. I don't even know why we're forced to be in this match. So you have Nia. She is basically destroying the face team, and then Ronda Rousey does this really cool flippity-doo-dah-day, 1, 2, 3. Nia is instantly eliminated because, I'm sorry, Nia, you just came back from injury, armbar, you're gone. Then out of nowhere, here comes Nikki Bella attacking from behind, and it looks like, oh drat, she's about to get the pin. Natalia breaks it up. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. And then armbar, 1, 2, 3, or not really 1, 2, 3, but Nikki taps. So Nikki is out. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. It's going to be a clean sweep. And then Sasha and Bailey look at each other and they're like, why are we best friends anymore? I don't understand the storyline. So Bailey, being a little sneaky, well, Sarah Logan goes into the ring and she's getting beat up, but she's still kicking out. She's still holding her own. She's still blocking the armbar. Bailey takes Sasha from behind, pulls her, super kicks her, just for good measure. Goes into the ring, super kicks Natalia, super kicks Ronda Rousey. Sarah Logan takes advantage. 1, 2, 3. Ronda Rousey's eliminated. Then Bailey throws in Natalia. 1, 2, 3. Natalia's eliminated. And then Bailey throws in Sasha. 1, 2, 3. Sasha's eliminated. And that leaves Dana Brooke and Bailey for the face team. And Dana's all like, I no longer have Titus Worldwide backing me. Now Bailey's a heel. What's going on? And of course it's Ruby Riott in the gang. And they turn on Bailey. and 1, 2, 3, Bailey's eliminated. So it's just like, oh man, what's gonna happen? Dana Brooke's gonna eat another pin because the Riot Squad is too dominant. 1, 2, 3, Riot Squad are your winners of the Raw Women's Survivor Series match. Boom. All right. That was tough.
Yeah, sounds tough.
I'm not the only one though. Yay.
What are you talking about? I don't know. I mean. Anyways, I'll go with my next match being for what am I gonna do right now? For the U.S. title. Let's just face it. I don't know what they really can do with Nakamura. And if we book him so bad, he may end up leaving when his contract is up at the end of the year. And I wouldn't mind that. Let's see him go back to New Japan. So let's have him lose the U.S. title and lose it to Andrade Cien Almas.
That would be an awesome match.
Yes.
And I feel
I'll be
like
right there at the beginning of the pre-show. Tradition going.
No.
If I of course had a choice, it would be in the main show itself.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be a really awesome matchup.
I feel like Andrade and Shinsuke would just be like, hey, we're both hard-hitting guys. We both like strong style. We know we're not supposed to, but I'm about to leave. You are just absolutely loved. And you could just be like, I didn't understand. Let's just go out and have a match. And I think they would.
Yeah, I think you can have. It'd be a real stupid segment, but I want to see because it would be funny. Like Selena Vega interferes, the ref's distracted, so Nakamura goes to his old go-to, and it's like, and she just looks at him, it's like, I'm a woman, and like hits him with a hurricane to help Andrade pick up the victory.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But I mean, they eventually need someone in there to wear a cup against.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I haven't done it before, but yeah, anyways. What's your next match, sir?
The Raw men's, the Raw men's Survivor Series match. Oh my gosh, I want to say Royal Rumble, and I knew that was wrong. Oh gosh, yes, the Survivor Series match for the Raw men, and it's going to be Jinder Mahal, Sunil Singh, Elias, Bobby Roode, and a newly turned Bobby Lashley, since he's teaming up with Leo Rush now. So those are your heel team, and your face team is going to be who should the face team be? I think I know. It's going to be Chad Gable because of his story with Bobby Roode, and then it's going to be the B team, and then it's going to be Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, and then it's going to be Kurt Hawkins on the face team, and then who's the last guy? It's gonna be, I know this is all mid-card talent, and I know Finn Balor is an option, but I don't want to throw him into this.
You have high faith in this Survivor Series matchup.
Fine. We're going to throw Finn Balor into it. And it starts off really, really strong with Finn and Elias going at it. And eventually, it also ends with the only two, Finn and Elias, because they just one-on-one get traded. Eliminations. First person to get eliminated, of course, is going to be Kurt Hawkins. Then the next trade-off is going to be Bobby Lashley, because Chad Gable just is impressive with his overpowering ability somehow, some way. I know that'll never happen, but it'd be funny. Then then Chad Gable gets eliminated by Bobby Roode to keep their feud going. Then Bobby Roode gets eliminated by, let's say, bumbling Bo Dallas, and Bo Dallas gets eliminated by Jinder Mahal. Then Jinder Mahal gets eliminated by Curtis Axel, and then Curtis Axel does not get eliminated, but then eliminates Sunil Singh. But then Curtis Axel gets eliminated by Elias, and that leaves the two started the match to go at it once again, Finn and Elias, and they go on for another 10-15 minutes just to show how great they are in the ring, ending with a drift away after a distraction by Baron Corbin, because apparently Baron Corbin likes to do crud like that. 1, 2, 3. Elias gets the win, and then turns face by grabbing Baron Corbin's like, I cannot believe you ruined my match. This was going to be a great match. Why did you have to interfere? Boom. Drift away. Elias picks up Finn. Two sweets him. And there's your new tag team. And you walk with Elias and Finn.
Okay. I'll go into my...
None of this is happening.
I'll go into my Survivor Series matchup.
Alright.
For some more stuff that's not going to happen. We're going to have Team SmackDown. We're going to make it easy pickup to say all three members of the New Day.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they didn't defend the championship. We had number one contenders.
Yeah.
Because of this. Plus AJ Styles. Plus...
That's why he didn't have a championship match.
Yes, that's why y'all... Plus... a Samoa Joe. Dun, dun, dun. And it's going to be... because he hasn't changed, he hasn't, turned to a face. But he's forced into it because of a common enemy. And that common enemy is a new faction which has come up.
Nice. I just like the tease of the NXT stuff.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going where you're thinking. It's a new faction made up of the concept of the future. It's a bunch of guys that just kind of come from NXT, and that's basically, we're going to do Nexus, but correctly. They're going to come up, attack everyone. They're going to, since this is not going to be in a Hell in a Cell, they're going to come up and, destroy this one. Or, a match down the road between Joe and AJ Styles. They're going to come in, wreck everyone in there, beat everyone up. And just keep beating up people, and that's why Joe has to form a shaky alliance with AJ Styles and the New Day, who are also being terrorized by them. And this will be a group led by Tommaso Ciampa. He's going to be there, and it's going to just be an assortment of guys from NXT that I feel, because of how low bloated NXT is, could probably be moving up pretty soon. So why not just move them up this way? So, Tommaso Ciampa leading the group that also contains Lars Sullivan, Cassius Ohno, who's going through his heel run right now. So that's 3. And I'm also going to pick, what is his name, so I get it correctly? Fabian Eichner. Yes. And then rounding out the list, I'm going to also put EC3 in there. Guy he's not hasn't been on there long, but from everything that I've heard, Triple H doesn't really like EC3 that much. That's not the type of guy he likes, so I think he'll do much better on the main roster. So this will be the team of the future that kind of goes around and just kind of destroys everyone. You probably don't know Fabian Eichner. He's basically a jobber in NXT right now. But I really like him. He puts on really entertaining matches, and he's kind of the heel jobber. But he puts on really good ones. So that's why I feel maybe if you put him on the main roster with more time to fill, you could give him something. Because I don't feel like you can give him anything right now in NXT. So, like I said, it's a lot of attacking and everything. They going around destroying everything, do it Nexus, but do it correctly. And then it goes with almost clean sweep, but there's only 2 eliminations because you're gonna have to give the SmackDown guys at least one. But it will be Fabian Eichner because he's kind of the weakest in there, so he'll get eliminated. But all the other guys on the SmackDown side get eliminated. A lot of it because of outside of stuff, because Joe and AJ Styles can't coordinate well while all the NXT guys are doing really well. And then New Day are doing well, but then Sanity runs in and gets them eliminated, kind of putting that feud forward. So it's a lot of problems, and eventually Joe gets eliminated. It's AJ Styles versus the last 4 guys, and then AJ Styles does eventually get defeated, but as Tommaso Ciampa's just over him, beating him up, they beat him up more, and he's about to go for his finisher. You then have AJ Styles being saved, and that savior is Johnny Gargano, a debuting Johnny Gargano at Survivor Series, who runs in with some more faces from SmackDown to come in and even the odds to further along the storyline.
That sounds like it'd be a lot of fun.
Yes, and they'll eventually have a Gargano Ciampa match that will eventually be for the WWE Championship, because Tommaso Ciampa will win the championship from AJ Styles. They'll have a championship match at WrestleMania between them, and that's how the feud ends with the future.
A lot of fun.
Yes.
And none of what we said is gonna happen.
No, not at all.
Why aren't we booking WWE? That WWE Vince, get your head
Why isn't anyone
out of
but
your
Vince
bum.
McMahon
Yeah.
booking
Get your head out of your bum and just hire us to do everything for you for about a year. But we won't charge you much, just a couple $100,000 a month. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even do much comedy in that one too.
I know, right?
Yeah. So pretty.
But
seriously.
I feel like well, which match was it?
Was it the U.S. title match?
No, I think they would. I mean, even though they could, I think both guys could do comedy really, really well. I think they would just go all out to be strong style. What is the first match you did?
The Charlotte Becky?
The match, the other one.
The Randy Orton, Rusev?
I feel like that one could end up being a lot of comedy.
Yeah, but it would be good comedy if it was comedy at the joke of Randy Orton to make him upset during it, and that would be a good angle to play, because it's like Rusev's keep getting over because of the more comedy stuff, and that just makes him even angrier, because that's why he's going after Rusev to begin with, is that he's over with the fans. So
yeah.
I didn't end up getting the women's Survivor Series matchup.
I mean, you have Billie Kay Peyton Royce, Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, and on the face side you have
And one other heel for them.
and Naomi,
Yeah. Asuka.
Carmella apparently, Asuka.
Oh, wouldn't Carmella lead the heels?
You'd think, but she turned face with Ron's Killings or R-Truth.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Maryse. Maryse could lead the heels.
Yeah.
Since she's wrestling again. And then Brie.
Then lead
Bella.
the face.
Mm-hmm. Who's the others?
Wow. How many did we say? Was that 4?
There's 5 women now on the heels.
No, but the faces that we have.
Brie,
Carmella, Naomi,
Asuka.
Then the last one, we're going to have another...
Debuting Candice LeRae?
Yes, I was getting around to that.
Uh-huh.
I
read your mind.
I was saying they had another member, but they got beat up by the heels team beforehand. Mm-hmm. So they're like, now we found a replacement, and it's Candice LeRae.
There you go.
Because to keep the married couple together.
Because once married couples are apart for too long, it doesn't really help them work things out. Of course, Lexi and Buddy being an exception to that rule, because they seem like they're still going strong.
I mean, they're not married yet. I don't think they.
Oh, I thought they did get married.
No, I mean, I know they're engaged. I don't know if they got married. Maybe they did.
But yeah.
Maybe I just don't want it to be.
But yeah, that. Who would be the other face wrestler though? The one who gets beat up.
I have no idea.
Let's figure this one out right quick.
That's just the depth of the women's division, you know.
Yep.
Here's their champion, Charlotte. Oh, you can have Lana as the last face.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Because she's a face now too.
Yeah.
Who is? Yeah, she hasn't been there at all.
This note says inactive torn rotator cuff.
That's why, because she's injured.
Yes.
So yeah, it would be Lana.
Yes, Lana. Sorry, Lana, that you had to be beat up, but it's okay. You get to celebrate with your husband.
Yes.
The greatest Rusev Day.
Mm-hmm. You get to be a part of the greatest Rusev Day instead of the Survivor Series match that ultimately doesn't mean anything.
Yes, and then with that Rusev Day as well, Randy Orton looks like he's about to tag from behind while they're celebrating, but he instead just goes out and puts his hand out and forces Rusev to shake it out of respect.
Mm-hmm.
That's good passing of the torch method there to help Rusev go forward. See, that's why it's never going to work, you know. It's We're never going to book it because we're helping build people up too much.
True. Whose name is not Roman Reigns.
Yeah, what's the next segment?
It is What Do You Think, where we come up with a question and we ask the others, what do you think? And this one should be a really fast segment, because the only question I have is, what do you think about Vampiro?
If people don't know, they should see some of Vampiro's clips from the AAA from his announcement, and I just think it's a very unprofessional and really ridiculous, and I feel bad for Matt Stryker for having to put up with that and try to be professional around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is one of the things, like when I see him in commentary for Lucha Underground, I'm like, what are you even saying? Like,
he's the coach.
Yeah. He's just not really controlled. Because, I mean, to be fair to Coach, I'm sure he's being fed a lot of these lines. So they may suck, but I don't know if he's creating all of them off the top of his head.
Yeah.
So, but Vampiros
now.
probably is,
Oh, now Ronda Rousey gets a break. What do you mean? She's in a bear hold or bear hug.
That's good resting position.
It's okay because now she could just take a breather. She's getting her life squeezed out of her, Coachman. What are you talking about?
She can rest her back muscles. She can take a lot of deep breaths.
That minute that came up, I was just like, what the crud is he talking about? This is supposed to be a brutal... You're just downplaying the bear hug, dude. Stop talking.
It's like, Vampiro, you're an idiot. At least it didn't say she was right before the picking.
Oh, man.
That should be like an award for like worst line in wrestling.
Worst line in any media, really.
Yes.
Only my husband can say I'm right for the picking. Do we need to call the cops for you? Rhonda, what's going on? Blink twice if you are being held captive. And... Ugh.
Okay, my question is, what do you think of the fact that a lot of people kind of downplay, wrestling in Mexico? Like when it comes to a lot of other people on the YouTubes and stuff, they don't necessarily talk about. I saw What Culture did an episode where they went and ranked all of the world titles for prestigiousness, and they start off by saying we don't have any of the titles from Mexico because we don't watch it, and it's like, well, I mean, that seems like your job, and it's like, you're gonna watch one of the biggest promotional areas.
Yeah.
Because for as much as they talk about the British wrestling scene, it's definitely not as large as the the Mexican wrestling scene.
Yeah.
That's a much bigger scene. It's the U.S., Japan, Mexico, with U.S. being the top, mostly due to the population, much bigger population.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Wow. It
And
kind of sucks.
Even to another point to that, I was watching a video a little earlier. Steve and Lawson, they were doing their question and answer video from their fans, and they were asking like what indie promotions, like what indie guys, what they want to come up, and they said beforehand, it's like, I'm not counting ROH or New Japan as indie and everything because of size, but then they go and also say Impact, but they also like AAA. And it's like, how are you going to call AAA a indie promotion when they just sold out a stadium? Like, we were watching just the clips of that. That was huge. They had a lot of people. They probably even had more people than All In.
Their stage setup was impressive.
Yeah, that was a big old stage. And
then they had like the double ramp thing going on, and a huge.
And they had pyro.
Yeah.
You know how expensive pyro is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's just a bunch of craziness, right? We unfortunately fall into the same little area of not knowing a lot of the Mexican promotions or wrestlers, even though we do watch Lucha Underground and have gotten a lot of like Pentagon, Rey Fenix, Drago, Meltez.
Yeah, I definitely want to try to get into it. I want to try to see where I can find more CMLL. Because New Japan only does it when they have New Japan wrestlers on the show itself.
Yeah.
So they sometimes do it, but it's not always.
Yeah, and I have read about Psycho Clown. I've read about what is his name? Alberto El Patron doing his little thing.
Yeah, I mean, and I watched like I was saying, I watched the event they had Friday, and it was very good stuff. CMLL.
And then even though Triple Mania had a lot of craziness going on, it seemed like it was
Yeah,
a
we watched
pretty cool show.
Watched a like video of the botches from there, and it's mostly just kind of Vampiro stuff and some missed cues, but overall it had kind of a lot of entertaining stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I feel like the reason
and
why
another thing too with it too is that I will go and say, to our defense, this isn't our job. You know,
True.
I'm also talking about people who's like, that's their job is wrestling, and they still don't watch stuff from Mexico.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a little.
I feel like
I will say Dave Meltzer, he actually watched. That's actually how I knew they had the CMLL event. On Twitter, he was talking about some good stuff about the matches. So
I would say, even though now with Twitch you can get AAA, it's not always as accessible, and it's not really advertised as much as the British scene or WWE, Impact, or even New Japan right now. Like, they have a lot of people not only hyping it up but advertising it like never before. The stuff with Kenny Omega and the entire Golden Elite, Cody Rhodes, being able to do what they did because of the marketing and the everything they were doing. I feel like, yes, they have that lucrative stuff down in Mexico, which is why they're able to pack a huge arena or a stadium, but I don't think it translates to other English-speaking countries or other countries in general, except for maybe Japan, because it's not marketed as such.
yeah, I think part of it does too is that they're very content with the way they are. Because I mean, I'm sure they're doing fine financially, all those big companies in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So they're and even going further than Mexico, other Spanish-speaking countries in South America and Central America. So I'm sure in a lot of ways they don't care as much, because that's one of the things with New Japan is they're doing a Western expansion. So they're bringing in more English, commentary. I think they said they're gonna have 19 events in English for this year, and I think that may count as overall events, like all G1's an event, all of Destruction is going to be an event. So
okay.
So they're trying to have everything in English for. But I mean, I still would say like it's a little weird, like it's overlooked as much as it does. Even thinking of stuff like the PWI, top 500. Once again, a magazine that covers wrestling, and they don't really have a lot of guys from Mexico near the top.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the full list, but I know like Pentagon Jr. is 30, and he's one of the top guys in Mexico scene and going into other scenes as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's a crazy weird spectrum that there's got to be something there, but paradoxes, man, Alright, so before we get into the Helen in the Cell. Before we get to Hell in a Cell stuff, we are gonna go and just answer 4 questions that we've overheard or seen in our mailbag. And one that I heard and saw that I really, really like is, out of all the wrestling matches you have seen, which match do you feel had the worst finish?
Worst finish. Um. Uh,
It's a tough
well,
one, isn't it?
yeah. I think which one was the worst overall? Yeah, I guess I kind of want to go with like, I definitely remember one from NXT. I can't even remember everyone in it. I think it was, what, maybe it was Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Emma, and maybe Dana Brooke on the other team. And it just ended with I think Becky Lynch not responding to the count, so she didn't kick out in time, and it just got called, and it was just like, oh, that's it, and then just kind of like got up, and then the faces beat up the heels, and it was just awkward, and it's like I don't know, it's just anything in that realm where.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear what ended up happening with the All In, the main event? They went back. They had to go home now. In that main event, and he told them that. So that's why they went for the more bang for your buck, with I guess more golden bang for your buck or something like that. But they did that, and Phoenix didn't know that they had to go home. That's why he broke up the pin. So after that, I guess they must have told him, so they went immediately for the Meltzer driver
Mm-hmm.
to end it.
Cause yeah, I thought the what was that? I thought the more bang for your buck was supposed to be the finish.
Yeah, it was supposed. It was.
And then he broke it up, and it's just like, well, I don't think that was supposed to happen. Everyone looks really awkward right now. And then they just like, alright, Meltzer driver, let's go. But I feel like ending it on the Meltzer driver was like the perfect way to end it, because it was just the biggest middle finger to a man who said they couldn't pack a 10,000 crowd, and they did. So what better way to be like, hey, screw you, buddy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, being a little harsh. I mean, to be fair, no one actually thought that an indie promotion could have done it. I think everyone was pretty stunned by it.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Meltzer and all the other guys don't realize the power of the Smark. Like, basically, for example, if you say this group here can't do something, the Smark mentality will set out to prove you wrong. Just because.
Maybe that was his plan all along.
Maybe.
It's reverse psychology.
Maybe.
And Meltzer loves his psychology.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that was, of course, nothing ever negative to it. I mean, of course, Meltzer loves, the Young Bucks and the Bullet Club and all. Jeez.
Mm-hmm. Oh, giving a bunch of them a bunch of 5 stars. Or is that just Kenny?
I'm sure Young Bucks probably had 5 stars somewhere.
Yeah. But I can't really tell.
Interesting also.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, from what I've seen, is that the 5-star Frog Splash was in relation to Dave Meltzer's 5-star rating for
Really?
RVD. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So, what were you saying? So what was your worst ending?
Drat. I don't know. That's so. I'm just gonna go with Asuka versus Charlotte, only because after Asuka lost, she's just been thrown away, and that hurts my heart.
Yeah, it's that you were ready for Asuka. Yeah.
I blocked that out of my memory. And after you brought that up, I was like, yeah, that was worse.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. One of the questions you've ever heard.
I don't know. What? Okay, blocking stuff out of your memory. What other things, if you can go into your memory, that you may have blocked out from wrestling's past?
That's gonna be tough to go back there, but
Yes. Like for instance, WWE blocked out the memory of Chris Benoit.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say I mostly blocked out the whole Michael Cole Jerry Lawler feud.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's
Like that was just horrendous.
yeah.
They had a point where he was protected by Jack Swagger and plexiglass, and it was just so cartoonish and over the top. The entirety of the general manager on a computer thing, and then the reveal was Hornswoggle. That I try to keep that out of my memory.
Yeah. And then all the celebrity guests.
That too. Every week that happened, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so stupid.
I still remember, one of my first experiences with the WWE being something I would like to block out at least, being the Vince McMahon blowing up in the limo one, which is where I went to it, turned it on, saw the limo get blown up, and people reacting to it. I'm like, oh, this is stupid, and I changed the channel.
So apparently no 5 stars for All In, but the Golden Elite and Rey Mysterio, Bandito, and Phoenix got 4.5, as well as Kenny and Pentagon. And then Kazuchika Okada and Joey Janela and Hangman Page got 4.25. And then Nick Aldis Cody got 4, and the over budget Battle Royale got 4. Those are your 4 and above.
Yeah, the one, yeah, makes sense.
I guess probably because there wasn't full-on story there.
Yeah. But anyways, two other questions you overheard?
Here's a good one. Mixed Match Challenge Season 2 is coming up already.
Uh-huh.
Even though they're basically telegraphing who they're going to put over with the WWE Champion and SmackDown Women's Champion on the same team, who would you actually like to see win?
I don't know, I guess go with Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman.
Team Little Big.
Yeah.
Okay, well, same answer.
You seen their new shirt?
No, but it's probably the best thing ever.
But they have, at least on the back, it's a thing where it's like Braun Strowman's hand and then Alexa Bliss's little hand.
Oh my gosh, that's adorable.
You ever seen their ride along?
No, I haven't.
They actually did that, like they showed like Alexa Bliss's hand and Braun Strowman's.
That's great. Yeah. I'm the same. It's them. Either Miz and Asuka or Team Little Big. It's the only two I want to see win.
And Miz and Asuka won last time, so.
Yep.
Is Becky Lynch in there somewhere?
She's not participating at all this year. And a lot of people who had partners got switched. Like Finn Balor will be back, but not with Sasha Banks. It's with Bayley this time. Sasha's with Bobby Lashley.
Gonna be a
Which
bigger split in that friendship there. They're fighting over
over Finn Balor.
Yeah.
And then Finn Balor just like, girls, I can have both. And then all three of them become a thing.
Yes, get the baby oil.
Oh my goodness.
Finn Balor for everyone.
Rusev Day is still together. Usos are still together. And I think there's one more team returning. I know Natalia is with Kevin Owens.
Does that make sense?
They're both from Canada.
Oh. Yeah, but I mean, one's French Canadian, the other's just Canadian. That's a big difference right there.
Alicia Fox, I think, is with Jinder Mahal. So they ain't winning.
No.
And then no, he's not in it. He's still injured.
Then you say R-Truth and
R-Truth and Carmella.
Because get it? He made that joke about Carmella. Do you get it? It's funny.
Vince thinks it's hysterical. And
I mean, it's
who's the other
basically
one?
like a little person getting thrown into a pool. Did you ever hear that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, but like how Vince McMahon thinks the funniest thing ever is someone getting pushed into a pool.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I'm surprised they don't do that a lot then.
Yes. They don't have enough pools. Interesting thing with the CMLL event I watched.
Mm-hmm.
They had the Blue Demon Jr. He comes out apparently with a little person in a gorilla costume, like a blue gorilla costume, and it's like when they were having the event, I didn't even see. It's like this is like a blue thing. I was like, what is that? And then he spins around. And it's like, oh, and it's like I know him because I've seen a GIF of him. Like he was on the apron and he gets a baseball slide drop kick like 10 feet. And when I seen the GIF, I thought it was like a stuffed animal or something, but it's a person.
Oh my gosh.
And it's weird because he's just like hanging out in the corner the whole match, and he's just like laying on the bottom, like just holding on to him. Like he gets switched out with a stuffed animal. It's like, no, he's still moving. Then he eventually gets a point where the heels lift him up, and then Naito does a baseball slide and right into his head.
Oh, goodness gracious. So, what was the last question that you overheard?
The last question I overheard was, what do you think about people making a thing of that Ric Flair kiss picture from his wedding?
I was unaware that people were making a thing about it.
Yeah, I mean, I just seen a lot of people because it's not a pretty kiss, but most people don't kiss very pretty. So I don't know why people care so much about it. Because it's like, yeah, it's the one from their actual wedding. And it's like, calm down. It's all what culture do you have that as their thumbnail for like the crazy things that happened this week? On insane things in wrestling. So it's like, calm down, stop making fun of the guy on his wedding day. Most people don't look good kissing in real life. That's just a thing. And leave the man alone. The real question people should be asking is, does Charlotte have to buy a new dress every wedding? That's what I was wondering when I was seeing her on the side there. I was like, I wonder if she buys a new wedding dress every time and just gets the not wedding dress, but dress full weddings.
Yeah.
Or does she have to? Or can she reuse that gown? Another thing people were making it big on was Michael P.S. Hayes' wedding outfit for the wedding. But the thing too with that is that's not even his wedding outfit. That's just the outfit he wears on his day-to-day attire, but it was his pink pants, his white shirt, and pink vest with with his fanny pack. I was like, calm down. It's just what he wears on his day-to-day basis.
Yeah, did you end up seeing the final score for that?
Yeah.
That's awesome. They were down 8 points. Don't know how they did it. Alright, so Hell in a Cell predictions time.
Yeah, well, so we're doing that now?
Yeah, we're gonna do that now, and or we could just end up going live and just make it its own separate video.
Yeah.
Do that?
Yeah.
Okay. But before then, we're just gonna
we just need to get like DJs, or are we gonna get a Bleacher Reports?
We're just gonna get his when we go live. We're gonna go live a little bit early, and we're just gonna get his then. Okay, so let's. Okay, so our 3 things. What do we do?
Most anticipated match.
The match you think is going to be the best, and and what do you think? What do you think is going to be the overall event?
Who's New Day gonna fight?
New Day is going to fight Rusev Day.
Oh. That could be pretty good. Most anticipated, though, I don't know. I guess pick I'll go with the EJ Samoa Joe.
Okay. For me, it's either that one or SmackDown Tag Team Championship match.
Yeah.
Because I like the entire cast of characters involved in that.
And just with that, it always comes with the idea of, well, you know how it's going to end. Hayden messing something up to further that potential feud that they might do.
But how they get there could be
it will
really
be entertaining. Good. It's just
kind of like NXT, where a lot of the times you know what the outcome's going to be, but it's just that journey to get there.
It's just when he goes with the anticipation, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So best match.
I guess it could end up being the. It could either be the SmackDown one or the AJ Samoa Joe, or maybe even the Raw Tag Team titles.
Not Daniel Bree versus Miz Maurice.
Well, it just depends on how many suicide dives they have. That's I guess I'd go with Joe Styles again.
Okay. Sounds good. I guess I'll go with New Day versus Rusev Day again. And your overall hype for the show, it's not very much, to be honest. Oh, crud. Okay, there is a match that could be match of the night. There is one other one.
What?
Becky versus Charlotte. Despite how we feel towards it, they're probably going to put on a fantastic show.
It'll be a fantastic match up until the end where Charlotte wins.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately,
yeah. Overall anticipation is very low. I mean, if Mojo Rawley was here, he would be pointing at me and saying, "You ain't hype, bro." And I'll be like, "Yes, you're correct, sir." You're very astute at pointing that out.
Yeah, so that's basically how we feel about Hell in a Cell. We're gonna go sign off here and we're just gonna do live predictions really soon. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please give us those sexy likes
and the unsexy ones.
Don't forget to share to all of your friends.
And your enemies.
If you like what we do, please subscribe to the channel so that way you are a part of the Smarky family. And then hit the notification bell.
Hit that notification bell to get notified for when we go live. We go live for most pay-per-views, like the Hell in the Cell and ones outside of WWE as well.
Mm-hmm.
We also go live for our podcast Shooting with the Smarky family, which you're watching now, every Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Time. And and you just get notified for when our videos go up overall.
Yeah.
And you can follow me on Twitter at Liam_SWA.
Follow me on Twitter at IsaJ_STP. And I guess we can just plug the other two, even though they're never here anymore. Follow Francesca at Francesca_SWA. And then follow DJ at DJ_SEL. And that's it for the podcast.
Yes. So until later tonight.
Like 5 seconds from now, it will be awesome.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. Where the crud is the... There it is. Bam. Okay.